welcome to skedLIVE. I'm your news host, Karina Robinson. Here's what's making news today. Michael Flynn, President Donald Trump's national security advisor, has resigned. The announcement came late Monday night following reports that he had misled Vice President Mike Pence and other officials about his contact with Russia. Flynn admitted in a resignation letter that he was in contact with the Russian ambassador to the U.S. numerous times before the transition and gave incomplete information about those discussions to Vice President Pence. Flynn posted on Twitter Monday night saying, "I may have been careless in some of my discussions and I accept full responsibility." In light of Flynn's resignation, White House officials announced that retired Army Gen Keith Kellogg, a top policy advisor for Trump's campaign, was appointed acting national security advisor. Numerous Californians remain in shelters as engineers work for a second day on Tuesday to fix the United States' tallest dam before another storm sweeps the region. Late on Sunday, about 188,000 residents in Northern California were ordered to evacuate their homes in the Featherwither Valley below the dam following an emergency spillway failure. Airbnb, the home and apartment rental services, has also waived all fees for people who live in the affected area and is offering homeowners a way to offer shelter for free. Authorities say that they are doing all they can to get the dam in shape so people can return to their homes and live safely without fear. Now over to Bernadette with your business and technology news.
Hi, my name is Bernadette, and here's what making business news today. A U.S. federal judge denied a request by Native American tribes seeking a halt to construction of the final link in the Dakota Access Pipeline yesterday. Judge James Boasberg of the U.S. District of Columbia rejected the requests from the Standing Rock Sioux and Cheyenne River Sioux tribes, who had argued that the project will prevent them from practicing religious ceremonies at a lake they say is surrounded by sacred ground. After a day of delays and confusion, Toshiba chairman Shigenori Shiga has resigned due to their decisions to venture into the U.S. nuclear business, which cost them a $6.3 billion loss. As a result, Toshiba might have to sell business assets in an attempt to recoup its income. Toshiba said its net worth was at minus $1.7 billion by the end of last year. It is planning to sell its flash memory business and other assets in the hope to maintain the company. People of Quebec will be able to enjoy more flights from WestJet this year. Starting in early March, there will be 2 daily flights going from Halifax to Montreal, and in October, 2 daily flights will operate from Montreal to Boston. Calgary, Vancouver, and Toronto will also see an increase in service. The airline will offer 195 weekly departures from Montreal and 50 from Quebec City by the end of October. Tim Hortons is finally looking to expand in the global market. The parent company of Tim Hortons and Burger King is planning to add more locations in the United States, Philippines, Great Britain, and Mexico. CEO of Restaurant Brand International, David Schwartz, says that the United States is one of the biggest opportunities for the two brands. This decision was thought through despite the current political environment in the U.S., stating that it wouldn't affect their plan to expand the business. RBI is also reportedly looking to buy the Popeyes Louisiana chain. Canada's biggest medical marijuana trading company, Canopy Growth Corp, is seeing triple the revenue from 2015. By the end of 2016, the company had over than 29,000 registered clients compared to 8,000 clients at the end of 2015. Despite their net loss of $3.3 million in 2015, the company gains $3 million net income in 2016. NBA Development League will now be called NBA Gatorade League after the sport-themed beverage company bought the rights to the name. This change also comes with the agreement between the league and Gatorade Sports Science Institute. NBA Deputy Commissioner Mark Tatum says that the league will use the institute's knowledge to advance their athletes' performance through training, nutrition, and other approaches.
Thanks, Bernadette. 14 people have died and 59 are injured after a bomb exploded during a protest in Lahore, Pakistan on Monday. According to CNN, Jamaat-ul-Aqsa, a splinter group of Pakistani Tehreek-e-Taliban has claimed responsibility for the attack. Security officials told the New York Times that they are looking into whether the bombing meant to derail foreign players from participating in the March 5 finals of the Pakistan Super League cricket. Markets and businesses remain closed today across much of the country's eastern Punjab province, while flags at government buildings are at half-staff. Some citizens of Aleppo are currently working on mending the destruction from the war that has shattered the Syrian city's historical heritage. About 20 volunteers sorted through the debris in Kwan al-Gungruk, one of the souk's great medieval inns, collecting stones from a fallen archway to be used in its restoration. Syria's Director General of Antiques, Manoun Aldan Karing, says that about 30% of the old city suffered catastrophic damage in the war that ended in December. He also said that officials are working on a plan to save as much of the city as they can. Kim Jong-nam, half-brother of North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, has been killed. Reporters say that Jong-nam died on his way to the hospital after collapsing at Kuala Lumpur Airport while waiting for a flight to Macau on Monday. Malaysian police officials Fadzil Ahmad said the cause of Kim's death is not yet known and that a post-mortem would be carried out. South Korea's TV Chosun, a cable TV network, reported that Kim has been poisoned by a needle by two women believed to be North Korean operatives who fled in a taxi at large, citing multiple South Korean government sources. This information is yet to be confirmed. 32 people are dead after a tour bus crashed near Taipei in Taiwan on Monday night. The fire department said that 44 people on the bus, 30 were pronounced dead at the scene, while 2 died in the hospital, while 12 other people undergoing treatment in the hospital around Taipei. According to Taiwan's Central News Agency, the passengers, most whom were senior citizens, were returning home from a tour of cherry blossoms at Wulin Farm in Taichuan. Reporters state that the bus flipped onto its side on a highway exit ramp Monday evening. This is the second bus crash this year last month after another Taiwanese tour bus carrying Chinese tourists crashed into a bridge in southern Taiwan, injuring some passengers. And now, here's Kaylee with entertainment news.
Thank you, and here's what's happening in entertainment today. For the first time in franchise history, a person of color will take the lead role when searching for love on The Bachelorette. Rachel Lindsay, a female contestant currently on The Bachelor, has been conferred to lead as the next Bachelorette. Lindsay, a lawyer from Texas, announced her role on Jimmy Kimmel, shocking fans who considered her a frontrunner on The Bachelor. Franchise host Chris Harrison hinted that Lindsay previously would be a great Bachelor, calling her an incredible pick. The celebrity YouTuber PewDiePie, also known as Felix K. Gielberg, is facing backlash after the Wall Street Journal revealed anti-Semitic messages in his videos. This comes after Disney owner Maker Studios told the Wall Street Journal that they cut ties with the YouTuber due to the investigation. PewDiePie will still benefit from YouTuber's advertising scheme, but he will not be a premium member of the YouTube family. The YouTuber addressed these claims in a blog post on Tumblr, sharing that he does not support Nazi values, but he did acknowledge the messages as being offensive. Playboy magazine has brought nudity back to the centerfold after a 2-year ban was put in place. On Monday, Cooper Hefner, son of the founder Hugh Hefner, published a statement on the Playboy website stating that the magazine was reclaiming its identity. The post explained that though the magazine had previously displayed nudity in an outdated way, removing nudity was not the right solution. Hefner said nudity was never the problem because nudity isn't a problem. The March-April edition features Elizabeth Elam on the headline, and the headline reads, "Nakedness is normal." Nick Cannon is leaving America's Got Talent after 7 seasons hosting the show. His leaving comes after a racial joke was directed at NBC and was made during Cannon's Showtime stand-up special. Cannon shared his exit on a Facebook status and said that he was saddened to be leaving the show, but was threatened with termination. He said, quote, "My soul won't allow me to be in business with corporations that attempt to frown on freedom of speech, censor artists, and question cultural choices." Production of the show's 12th season, and what was supposed to be Cannon's 8th, is set to begin in March. Though Prince was famously protective of his music, His full discography will now be available on streaming services such as Apple Music, Spotify, and Pandora. Warner Bros. Records has confirmed that they will be sharing all 25 of Prince's albums and plan on releasing a remastered version of Purple Rain. They will also be releasing 2 new albums of unheard music, plus concert films. Warner Music gained the rights to license Prince's music prior to 1996. Chairman and CEO of Warner Bros. Records, Cameron Strang, has noted the responsibility the company has to safeguarding and nurturing the incredible legacy Prince has left. And that's all for entertainment today. I'm Kaylee Netz for skedline.com.
Thanks, Kaylee. An Ontario court judge ruled in favor of the plaintiffs in a class action lawsuit linked to the 60s scoop this morning, finding Canada was liable for failing to protect them from losing their cultural identity. The court case ruling could cost taxpayers over $1 billion as the government makes amends for what some have deemed cultural genocide. Superior Court Justice Edward Belababa stated in his ruling, Canada had a common law duty of care to take reasonable steps to prevent unreserved Indian children in Ontario. We had been placed in the care of non-Aboriginal foster and adoptive parents from losing their Aboriginal identity. Canada breached this common law duty of care. The court case emerged in 2009 after some of the children, now adults, affected by the policy in Ontario, launched a class action lawsuit against Ottawa, alleging that the government failed to prevent the loss of their cultural identity. A fire broke out at a building at Yonge and St. Clair earlier today. Skedline reporter Devin Emery was at the scene of the incident. Here's the report.
I'm Devin Emery for Skedline News. I spent several hours at the scene at St. Clair and Yonge, where a 6-alarm fire started at around 9:45 this morning. The sky was filled with black smoke as fire crews put out the fire. Talking with a witness, he said he saw a small fire that looked like a campfire start at the Badminton and Racquet Club and slowly spread to the entire building, including one north of the Racquet Club. Police evacuated occupants in the surrounding building with no reported injuries. Check skedline.com for photos and videos. I'm Devin Emery for Skedline News.
That was Skedline reporter Devin Emery. 3 people are dead and a young girl is in hospital with serious injuries after a fire broke out at a home in Brampton this morning. The incident took place on Madison Street in the area of Dixie Road and Williams Parkway shortly after 4 a.m. Brampton Fire Chief Michael Clark told CP24 reporters that prior to the arrival of first responders, a basement tenant got out of the home safely and then proceeded to kick in a door to the main floor of the home and rescue a young girl who was trapped. The child was immediately transported to Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto and is being treated for third-degree burns and smoke inhalation. Police have not yet released the names of the victims and their relationship to each other. Nathan Shan is now the new city councillor for Scarborough Road River Ward 42. Shan won the ballot by a margin of 4,763 votes in a crowded field of 29 candidates in yesterday's Toronto by-elections. Shan will be the first Tamil Canadian to serve on Toronto City Council, replacing former City Councillor Raymond Cho. Shan told the Toronto Star, "At the end of the day, my priority is to make sure the people in my community are taken care of." Mayor of Toronto, John Tory, has congratulated Shan on his win. Atlantic Canada and other northeastern areas are facing serious blizzard conditions. Blizzard conditions brought parts of Atlantic Canada to a screeching halt on Monday, with the hardest hit area recovering from nearly 80 centimeters of snow. Though the worst of the storm has passed, on its heels, it is another northeaster set to impact the Maritimes Wednesday night, though Thursday bringing an additional 10 to 20 centimeters of snow. Now let's take a look at our weather forecast for today. today, skedline reporters Alyssa Crozin and Danila Neves attended the grand opening of the LGBTQ+ Resource Center at Humber Lakeshore campus. Here's the report.
I'm Melissa Crozin for skedline.com, and we are here at the grand opening of the LGBTQ+ Resource Center at Humber's Lakeshore campus. Let's take a look inside.
The theme of this event was candy, cupcakes, condoms, and community. It is a new safe space that students can get information about everything LGBTQ+.
The Resource Center primarily functions as a drop-in space for anyone, really. During that time, if people are curious about LGBTQ+ things, they can come and talk to some of our staff and student staff here and connect with other students about some of those topics. And then for folks who are LGBTQ+ identified, we do also offer weekly discussion groups and other events throughout the year that explore the same themes. We also will have resources and really also just a place for people to talk to one another and find that community that's sometimes missing when there's so many different programs here at Humber that it's sometimes hard to find one another. So this is kind of a hub for some folks.
I think what I'm enjoying the most is just actually having an event like this. I'm an international student and I'm from Brazil. And in Brazil, we don't usually have this kind of center for LGBT people inside universities or college. And I think it's important to acknowledge that and to celebrate that and to be proud like Humber is.
For the full video of the event, head over to skedline.com. In spirit of Valentine's Day, check out these adorable photos of two newlywed alpacas at a zoo in Russia. That's your news for today. I'm Karina Robinson. From all of us at Skedline, happy Valentine's Day.